Cheese biscuits and gravy. Slosh, how you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? Holiday Cocktails, episode 4. I'm trying to keep track, but I always lose track at some point. Nevertheless, here's what I got going on. So I've got the Hard Truth High Road Rye at 93 proof. Let me show you that bottle here. This stuff is really good, man. I gotta tell you. The first bottle I bought from them was their sweet mash rye cask. So when I bought this one at 93, yeah, I felt a little light, man, but it's really good. They put that off to the side there. So again, holiday cocktails. Again, I was one of those things. I was looking at the ingredients I have on hand and trying to come up with something. So I used that whiskey. I used some Disaronno, some Amaretto, and then I also had toasted almond bitters. So I got the almond, if you're following me there. But then I also added some cranberry bitters to give it a holiday feel. The garnish is cinnamon stick and some brandied cherries. I used about a 1/4 ounce cherry juice. So I was kind of going for like a fruit cake kind of feel, if you're following me. So I'm tentatively calling this Holiday Fruits and Nuts, but I may come up with a better name later, but that's what I got at the moment. We're going to call it Holiday Fruits and Nuts. We might go fruitcake or something later. I don't know. The truth is, other than a tiny sip I just took in front of you, I haven't tasted it yet. So that's why I say tentatively, as I taste this and come up with other flavors, I may change it. But nevertheless, here we go. Gosh, that's nice. So you do feel that amaretto. That amaretto does. I didn't know if the amaretto would penetrate that 93 proof rye, but it does. It doesn't take it over, but it does let you know it's there. And it does blend with it nicely. The toasted almond bitters I really like, and I bought this for kind of that reason, to blend with the amaretto when I do an amaretto cocktail, to add those toasted almond bitters. But I also wanted to add the cranberry bitters to go with that kind of holiday feel I was trying for, as well as the cherry, the dark cherry, and just a little bit of that cherry juice to kind of give it. Again, I was kind of going for like a fruitcake kind of notion there, without adding a simple to bring it home. I wanted to work with just these ingredients. Quite frankly, that's really good. Yeah, I still like holiday fruits and nuts. I may change it to Christmas fruitcake. I don't know. I'm still debating on what would be a better name. Because nobody likes fruitcake, right? So calling it a cocktail fruitcake probably is the death of that cocktail. But it does give you that notion, that feel. Although a fruitcake tends to use either walnuts. They usually use walnuts, sometimes pecans, rarely almonds. So that's why I'm kind of drifting away from that fruitcake notion. I like the holiday fruits and nuts because I get that kind of feel. That's why I wanted to add that cinnamon stick as well, to add just that little bit of spice note to it. Good night, Irene. That is tasty. That really is. That one kind of took me by surprise because it was kind of okay. Let's see if this is gonna work or not, right? Because you never know unless you try. To be honest with you, I've been working through this amaretto. I bought this last year, so I've had this amaretto for about a year because I like it for holiday cocktails. But I'm not an amaretto drinker. I'm not going to drink an amaretto sour. I don't understand the point of the drink. Right? If I want a sour something, I'm going to have a whiskey sour. I'm not going to have an amaretto sour. That makes no sense to me. That does not work, man. No, but I do like it, especially around the holidays, to add it with something, which was the reason I bought those toasted almond bitters last year about the same time. So let's do something with the amaretto, toasted almond, because that's kind of got a holiday feel to it, which is kind of the idea behind this particular cocktail. And I did want it because I felt like I was the amaretto. I didn't want to add a simple to it, right? I didn't want to make it sweeter. I wanted to see what how this drink would work as is without adding a simple, turning it into a an old fashioned template kind of cocktail. But that amaretto is nice. Yeah, the thing is, I don't like amaretto on its own, but when you add it with the right other ingredients, right? In this case, the High Road Rye from Hard Truth, and the almond bitters, it really brings it home. Good golly, Miss Molly, that is really a nice cocktail. Yeah, so I'm always looking at kind of a Manhattan as a template. So if I take out the sweet vermouth, is it really a Manhattan anymore? Well, probably not, but it's a nice template, right? It's a nice place to start. You're looking at a rye or a bourbon. You've got sweet vermouth. So if you take out that sweet vermouth, you want to add something that has some sweetness, but also some acidity, which is what the sweet vermouth does for you. So I've done various uh, that's the word I'm looking for. I've done different versions of that cocktail where I've taken out the sweet vermouth and I've added cream sherry, I've added port wine. You want something that'll do the same thing, but not necessarily add the same flavors. In this case, I've taken that out and added the amaretto because you have to have that balance, right? It can't be just too sweet or too tart. You got to have that right balance. That's why I wanted to add those cranberry bitters in to kind of again reinforce that holiday notion. And then the cinnamon stick and the cherry, just all the holiday things, just all thrown in. Right? We got cinnamon, we got cherries, we got cranberry, we got almonds. Hell, we're all in, man. We're all in, baby. Uh, I like this little glass. My wife found this somewhere. I just like uh, the elegant etching on it. I'm far from an elegant individual. There's nothing I do that's elegant, but I do like a cocktail to look good. It's a nice looking glass, man. There's nothing elegant about me. uh, Man, that is nice. That is really, really nice. It's a 93 proof bourbon. There is no other sweetness in here. There's no simple in here. It's just a Disaronno. And then we've added the toasted almond bitters. You can really feel that almond on the nose. But I wanted to add that cranberry bitters to give it that little bit of tartness, right? Just to balance it out a little bit. And I got to tell you, it really works. I added a little bit of, just a little bit of the cherry syrup as I shook it all together there. So I wanted a little bit of that cherry syrup. And yeah, I was kind of going for like a kind of a fruitcake kind of thing. I didn't want to add any. So sometimes, if I was doing a simple, I would add some additional vanilla to really bring out that flavor. But I didn't want to do that with this one. I didn't want to add a simple because I felt like it was going to be sweet enough. And it is. It really is. But even without adding that additional vanilla, it kind of gives you that illusion that it's in there with the other ingredients working together. The Disaronno with the toasted almond bitters and the cranberry bitters adding that little bit of tartness. And those holiday aromatics. It really works, man. And then the cinnamon stick very slowly imparting those very light spice notes really keeps it from getting too sweet and too cloying. This drink is really nice. So when I do something like this, my question is, will you make it again? Is it something you drink again? And for this particular cocktail, the question is, yes, I really like this one a lot. So holiday cocktails, episode 4. We're just winging it, folks, and that's kind of was the idea. Is I didn't want to put a whole lot of thought into each episode because when you're at home designing cocktails, when you got chefs on TV or folks doing regular their TV, they've got folks in the background designing the stuff for them. Then you've got that figurehead saying, "Hey, look at this! Ain't I smart?" In my case, I'm not that smart or good looking, so I want to put something together myself, but I want to look at it like anybody at home looking at their home ingredients saying, okay, what can I do? With what I have here, what can I do? What holiday cocktail can I make? And that's kind of the idea is, that was the idea behind, the holiday cocktails episodes is working with what you have, seeing what you have at home, and making something that feels like the holidays, whether you're looking at Christmas or whatever holiday you might want to celebrate, just something that feels like the holidays. And again, working with what you got without having to go out of the box, without having to have, 10 people behind you designing something and you looking smart. It's just about making something that tastes good, that you like. Mercy Percy. And I gotta tell you, this one really took me by surprise. I didn't think I wouldn't like it. I like it more than I thought I would. The more I let this sit, the more those ingredients come together. This is really brilliant. Tom, pat yourself on the back a little more. No, it's really good, man. So once again, I'm using the the Hard Truth Hard Road Rye. Let's see what I do with my bourbon here. Oh, there it is. My rye, rather. Hard Truth Rye. I said a High Road Rye. I said Hard Road Rye. It's High Road Rye. Hard Truth High Road Rye. This is at 93 proof. This stuff is really good, man. I gotta tell you. And then I used, the amaretto everybody knows, the Disaronno, because it's really the best that you can find commercially out there consistently. And then I use some toasted almond bitters. And then I added a little bit of cranberry bitters as well. Kind of balance the sweetness. Add a little bit of tartness. And again, that's why I added the cherry, a little bit of cherry juice to kind of give it that fruitcake-like note. So anyway, one more time with feeling. I'm the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, pervert wisdom, all rugged guy, sláinte. Damn, if that isn't tasty. That one really caught me by surprise, to be honest with you. At first I thought it was a little sweet, but the more I drank it, the more I really enjoyed it. I really love those toasted almond notes. The way the Disaronno plays for that particular rye really works. Anyway, we're going to skip to the end. All around good guys. Launch it. Thanks, guys.